In the ancient town of Bethany, nestled on the eastern slope of the Mount of Olives and just a few miles from Jerusalem, an extraordinary event took place that would forever resonate throughout history. This is the story of one of the most remarkable miracles recorded in the Bible, the raising of Lazarus from the dead by Jesus of Nazareth. Our story begins with Jesus, who was deeply connected with Lazarus and his two sisters, Mary and Martha. The family was known to be beloved friends of Jesus, providing him companionship and hospitality on numerous occasions. One day, a message reached Jesus, who was then far away, informing him of Lazarus's grave illness. Despite this urgent news, Jesus deliberately chose to stay where he was for 2 more days. It was a decision that puzzled his disciples, but it was part of a divine plan unfolding. When Jesus finally decided to journey to Bethany, his disciples expressed concern, for the region was fraught with danger. Not long before, the people there had attempted to stone him. Nonetheless, Jesus was resolute. He explained to them, "Our friend Lazarus has fallen asleep, but I am going there to wake him up." This statement was misunderstood by the disciples, who thought Lazarus was simply resting. Jesus then spoke plainly, declaring, "Lazarus is dead, and for your sake I am glad I was not there so that you may believe. But let us go to him." As Jesus approached Bethany, news of his arrival spread quickly. Martha, upon hearing of Jesus' presence, rushed out to meet him, leaving Mary at home. Her first words to Jesus were filled with both faith and sorrow. "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died." Yet, even in her grief, Martha expressed profound faith in Jesus, saying, "But I know that even now God will give you whatever you ask." Jesus reassured her with words that have echoed through centuries. "Your brother will rise again." Martha, thinking of the resurrection at the end of time, agreed. But Jesus had something much more immediate in mind. He declared, "I am the resurrection and the life. The one who believes in me will live even though they die, and whoever lives by believing in me will never die." Do you believe this? Martha affirmed her belief in Jesus as the Messiah, the Son of God, and then went to call Mary. When Mary reached Jesus, her grief was overwhelming. She fell at his feet, repeating the words of her sister, "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died." Moved by her sorrow and the mourning of the others, Jesus was deeply troubled and asked to see the place where Lazarus was laid. As they led him to the tomb, the shortest yet one of the most poignant verses in the Bible simply says, "Jesus wept." Standing before the sealed tomb, Jesus commanded, "Take away the stone." Martha hesitated, noting that Lazarus had been in the tomb for 4 days and there would be an odor. But Jesus reminded her of their earlier conversation, saying, "Did I not tell you that if you believe, you will see the glory of God?" With the stone rolled away, Jesus lifted his eyes and prayed, thanking God for hearing him and expressing his desire for those present to believe. Then, with a loud voice that cut through the air like thunder, Jesus called out, "Lazarus, come out!" The crowd stood in silent anticipation. And then suddenly, miraculously, Lazarus emerged from the tomb, his hands and feet bound in grave clothes and his face wrapped in a cloth. Jesus instructed them, "Take off the grave clothes and let him go." This astonishing miracle was not just a demonstration of Jesus' power over death, but a testament to his identity as the source of life and the fulfillment of God's promise. It also foreshadowed his own resurrection, a pivotal event for all of humanity. The raising of Lazarus shook the region, and many who witnessed it believed in Jesus, cementing their faith in him as the Messiah. Yet it also ignited fear and anger among some religious leaders, prompting them to take steps that would eventually lead to the crucifixion of Jesus. Thus, the story of Lazarus is woven deeply into the fabric of Christian faith, a narrative of hope, transformation, and the enduring belief that life triumphs over death. As we reflect on this profound event, we are reminded of the power of faith and the promise of new beginnings that resonate through time.